Psalm 9, I was thinking about the peace we have in God's hands, and peace of knowing that He's in control in our lives, and how I can remember my life before I came to join the church was full of darkness. I mean, it's just, and people live like that, I still have darkness in my life. I put something between me and the Lord, but thankfully He doesn't leave me there. He works on me, grants you a sorrowful heart or a conviction to come back, and I think I need to understand how I need to have compassion on those that are always in darkness yet. Think about yesterday. I was out. I had to clean out the stove, so went out there. It was pouring down rain. I knew I was going to get soaked, so I just left. Just went out there with nothing. Let it soak me. But you can do that for a little while. But can you imagine being there all the time? You don't have any shelter. In a world full of darkness, you just it all comes upon you. There's no way to get out of it. But in that peace you can only have, man can't really know what it's like to lay his head down in that peace until he knows the Lord. That everything's going to be okay. That the fears that come upon us because of things we see, the tragedies and things, it should break our heart, and it should get us down a little bit, I guess, but we don't stay there because of the Lord, His goodness. And we know we're not, this isn't our final place, it's just the rehearsal. But Psalm 9, I'm sure there's a scripture about the Lord being a shelter, but for some reason I looked all over and couldn't find it, but I found a lot of them that they're kind of like that. Let's see. Verse 9 of Psalm 9. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Psalm 18. Start at verse 1. I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, and my fortress, and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation, and my high tower. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, so shall I be saved from mine enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried unto my God. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him even into his ears. And the earth shook and trembled, the foundations also of the hills moved and were shaken, because he was wroth. There went up smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured, coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub and did fly, yea, he did fly upon the wings of the wind. He made darkness his secret place, his pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. At the brightness that was before him, his thick clouds passed, hailstones and coals of fire. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the highest gave his voice, hailstones and coals of fire. Yea, he sent out his arrows and scattered them, and he shot out lightnings and discomfited them. Then the channels of waters were seen, and the foundations of the world were discovered at thy rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of thy nostrils. He sent from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. Years ago I bought my mom a painting of a lighthouse, or a picture of a lighthouse, and I was just buying it. I didn't think anything of it, but it's like you're on the choppy sea, and that lighthouse means there's solid ground. And the Lord is a light to us. That love is a light can't really express how bad it felt for me to feel like nobody in the world except my real close family loved me. But then you meet people that are in church or God's family here that love you unconditionally. They're praying for you. They want you to be around it, and it just draws you to shore, gets you out of the Lord brings you out of those waters, and it's much better to rest in peace like that with Him giving you a purpose and you feel that love. But we gotta share it with those that are still in the darkness and in choppy waves. Let's see, there's one other place here. Well, let's skip it over to Psalm 32. I guess verse 1. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputes not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. When I kept silence, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long. For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me, my moisture is turned into the drought of summer. Selah. I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto the Lord, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sins. Selah. For this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come nigh unto him. Thou art my hiding place, thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. Selah. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. I'll just leave it there.